One of the most overlooked parts of buying a condo is making sure that the building's rules actually fit your lifestyle. And condos have broad authority over what goes on inside of them, more than most buyers realize. As a real estate lawyer, I'm reviewing status certificates every week, and one of the most important conversations I have with my clients is about the rules, specifically what they need to be looking out for. So if you're buying a condo in Ontario, these are the 4 rules that come up the most often that actually affect how you live. Here's what to watch out for. My name is Zachary Soccio-Marandola. I'm a lawyer here in Toronto, and I help people like you close real estate deals every single day. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure you subscribe and join our community. And if you have a closing coming up, we've built the most transparent legal fee calculator online. It gives you a full breakdown of every dollar you'll spend, and even calculates closing costs like land transfer tax and title insurance. That's linked in the description below. So before we get into the 4 rules, let me give you a little bit of context. When you buy a condo in Ontario, you're not just buying a unit, you're buying into a corporation. The condo corporation is governed by a board of directors, and that board has authority under the Condominium Act to create and enforce rules that apply to everyone in the building. Now, those rules are often separate from the declaration and the bylaws, but they still carry real weight. And they can cover a wide range of things: how you use your unit and what you can do on your balcony, whether you can have pets, short-term rentals. The rules document is typically included in the status certificate package, so when I'm reviewing a status certificate as a condition on an offer, this is one of the things I'm often calling to clients' attention. And here's the key point. Rules are not inherently good or bad. A rule that's a deal breaker for one buyer is a selling point for another. The question is whether the rules match your lifestyle. So let's start with the most common rule that clients want to know about and that's often included, and that's pets. This is one of the most common concerns I hear from buyers, and the reality is that pet rules vary significantly from building to building. Some condos are very pet friendly. Others have restrictions that can catch buyers off guard. I've seen rules that cap the weight of dogs. One building I reviewed recently had a 60-pound limit. Others restrict certain breeds entirely. Some buildings even limit the number of pets per unit. I've also seen buildings that do restrict dogs. Most buildings do allow pets of some sort, but almost all of them have language around nuisance. Even if your pet is permitted, if it's causing issues for other residents, the corporation has the authority to require that animal be removed from the building. So if you have a pet or you're planning on getting one, you do need to read this section carefully before you buy. The next rule we want to talk about is smoking and cannabis. This one has evolved a lot over the past several years, and some buildings have gone very far with the restrictions. I reviewed rule documents that ban smoking entirely, tobacco, marijuana, vaping, not just in common areas, but inside the units itself and on the balcony. Full prohibitions. Now, some of these buildings have what's called a grandfather clause. When the rule was introduced, existing residents who notified the corporation within a certain time frame were permitted to continue smoking, but as a new buyer, you don't get that exemption. So you're buying in under the current rule. Cannabis is often addressed separately. I've seen buildings that explicitly ban both smoking and growing cannabis anywhere on the property. So if smoking is part of your lifestyle, or if it's something that you absolutely don't want around, this is a section that matters. Number 3. Short-term rentals. This one comes up constantly, especially in downtown Toronto buildings. And the answer in most condos is Airbnb-style rentals are not permitted. I've seen rules that explicitly name Airbnb and Verbo as prohibited uses. Others use broader language like no transient use or no hotel-style occupancy. A lot of them set a minimum lease term like 6 months, which effectively shuts out any short-term rental model. Now, this matters in 2 directions. If you're buying a condo and you're planning to rent it out short term, you need to confirm that the building actually permits that before you buy. Because if the rules permit it, well, you're stuck. And if you're buying to live there, a building that bans short-term rentals can usually be a positive. It means your neighbors are more likely to be long-term residents, not a rotating door of guests. So again, not good or bad, depends entirely on what you're looking for. The last one I'm going to touch on, rule number 4, balconies and BBQs. This one surprises people more than anything else, and the variation between buildings is quite significant. Some condos ban all cooking on balconies entirely, no barbecue of any kind. Others permit barbecues but may restrict the fuel source, so gas or electric only, no propane, no charcoal. Beyond barbecues, balcony rules can also address what you're allowed to store out there, what furniture is permitted, whether you can hang anything visible from the outside of the buildings. Boards care about the consistent exterior appearance of the building, so what you put on your balcony isn't always entirely up to you. If outdoor living is important to you, this is a section worth reading closely. Every condo has its own rulebook, and it's your job as a buyer to know what's in it before you close. And that's why having a status certificate condition in your offer matters. But the rules exist for a reason. They're about how the building operates and how people live together in a shared space. The question is whether they work for you. And the best time to find that out is before you buy, not after. If you're enjoying these behind the scenes real estate law videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I post a new video every week. And if you're a realtor, I also send a weekly update of different legal situations that come up in our closings. That's our realtor newsletter, and you can subscribe to it with the link down in the description. Thanks for watching.